As some of you have known, I've started therapy and it's going very well. Inception hits different after you've done like 2 months of therapy. You just realize, oh, this fool fucking, he just had that first acceptance moment.
Months, let's go.
You watch Inception after doing therapy successfully, you're like, this movie isn't shit. Why'd I start therapy? This job, a lot of reasons, man. I mean, this job makes you look at yourself in a way that you've not had to. But then what starts to crop up is you have to look back at the way you interpret things from people. It's a weird, self-analysis kind of thing. And there are thoughts and feelings and quirks that I have that really agitate me. And so I really went to therapy to understand why do I do those things. And, so in my own journey so far, it's been great. I've been able to let go of things. Man, I see why people get it fucked up when their therapist starts, enabling them to cry. Like, I remembered how to cry because of my therapist. Like, usually, if I get emotional, it'll like come up to here, and then it's like, don't be a bitch, bruh. And it just, and it goes right back down there. First of all, if you like a little crybaby bitch in the chat, don't put that on me, okay? I'm not crying like you. Let's just, I let a man cry. The tear rolls down my face and I watch it roll down. Eat that shit like a lizard and then go back to smiling. No, it's fine. It's fine. Crying is good. Crying's good. Crying's good. Noel, I cried different. Yeah. Really, another thing about therapy that like drove me to do it was I really hit a point, bro, where, and I was actually going to put a video on my YouTube channel titled, I Don't Feel Anything Anymore. But it felt kind of dramatic and I didn't really know how it would go over. Kind of felt like something you should do in a live context, but whatever. And I didn't really ever finish it, but I wrote a little bit of it. And basically what I had written was I had become so numb is that I didn't feel anything. Like anything at all, bro. But I didn't want to put out the comedian's equivalent of a makeup artist crying video. That's what I felt that was. So I didn't want to do it. But yeah, I felt so numb. I haven't felt that numb since Anderson Silva got knocked out by Chris Weidman. And if you are not 1,000 years old like me, you don't know what that is. Basically, the night Anderson got knocked out, I had never taken Xanax at that point, but when I watched him hit the mat, I felt like I took 5 Xanax right there. And honestly, I don't know if I ever recovered from that moment. I think, I've been feeling that feeling for years now. Like, my therapist thinks I'm building up a relationship with her to tell her something dramatic. I'm trying to figure out if she's a Chris Weidman fan, and if she isn't, can I open up to her about accepting that my favorite fighter got his ass knocked out? And I had to watch him get knocked out again last week. Oh! Oh! Ha! Oh! Oh my goodness, man. Oh, I had to watch Anderson get clapped again.
Glad you know, glad therapy is helping. Who?
Thank you, man. That's, oh my God. I had to accept that the other day. I watched Anderson get knocked out again, and I said, "Yep, that's his 6th loss in my lifetime." That's how I felt when Justin beat the brakes off Tony. It's a weird thing, isn't it? When you get attached to a fighter and you watch their ass get whooped, and you're like, "No, man." Ah! You drive over to their gym the next day. You get on one knee. You're like, "I will avenge you." They're like, "Bitch, you are 27. Get out of here." Captain, I said 6 times in my lifetime. Or, you're right. In the time that I've been watching MMA. Sorry, I phrased that poorly. So yeah, Numb isn't good, but I've also, as I've started to figure myself out a little bit, I'm able to focus on the things that I like to do now. And you probably see me act a little bit differently, and it, to some of you, it might feel forced or contrived. But I can tell you right now, it's not. It feels very good to be going down the path I'm going. And I don't really care to get into all the details. It's not really whatever. But, it's enabling me to do what I want to do, which is good. It's good. You said Instagram models with Botox are always numb. You're stupid as fuck, man. They're not numb. They're expressionless. They get the Botox in the forehead line, and they just... Oh, my God. That's why their eyes get bigger, because they can't move their eyebrows, so it just becomes... I don't want to see Andy fight again, man. If he's going to let him fight again, let him do steroids. Should you do therapy? You've been numb all year. Yeah. Get in there, bro. See, here's the thing. I got lucky, and the therapist I found, first try, it was it was a good match. I liked her approach and how she talks about things, and that made me feel good. You have to understand, guys, that therapy is not going there and just say some shit, and then your therapist is like, and then you leave. It's like supposed to be a process where you look at yourself. They're supposed to challenge you a little bit, pose you with questions, and make you look at yourself in a way you're like, damn. That's the problem with all these like pseudo spiritual programs and shit, bro. They just take the basics of therapy and then they put "let me fuck your wife" at the top of it. And then, that's what people don't realize about cults and stuff. There's a reason why people like cults. It feels real good until the fucking my wife part. But you don't want to let the first 4 levels go. So you're willing to let the 5th part happen because you like parts 1 through 4. You say, better myself, Listen, therapy is a process, bro. You might not nail it the first time. Sometimes you're not in the right mind state for it. But I'd advise you keep trying. One therapy session isn't, or however many I've done. I haven't done too many, but I've done a decent amount now. 5, whatever it is, 4 or 5.
Big bite.
As someone who wants to be a therapist, it's so cool to hear how much clarity you're
Yeah.
getting from it. Therapy is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Keep it up, man.
Thank you.